There he goes, one of God's own prototypes.
Dude, I would never want to spend like even 10 minutes inside of your head.
A high-powered mutant of some kind never even considered for mass production.
Like, it's such a shit show.
Too weird to live, and too rare to die.
Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy Johnny Buck here on the Johnny Buck Show. I hope you guys are having an awesome fucking week so far. If not, I hope it gets better. So, quick housekeeping stuff as usual. Like, share, 5-star review. Share with somebody who needs to hear it, man. So today we're going to talk about, I don't know if it's really the entrepreneurial? Maybe I had a stroke. All right. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. Shit. Not ship. It maybe not. It's something. I think it's honestly this is one of the things that really makes entrepreneurship hard. Is there's two types of people in this area. All right, we're gonna talk about dreamers and visionaries, and dreamers are not visionaries. They're not the fucking same. And we're gonna talk about that today. So, I made a post the other day talking about how hard entrepreneurship is. It was probably one of the most. It was the most shared post I've ever made in my entire life, probably. I'm gonna pull it up real quick, just give you guys some numbers. Hopefully, I can find it. But like, entrepreneurship is hard, man. Being successful is hard. Like, it's just not easy to do. So 20% of businesses fail in the first year. All right. 30% don't make it to the second year. 50% don't make it to the fifth year. 70% don't make it to 10 years. And those are that's the data I want to talk about. Like, the vast majority of businesses just don't make it. And what I think happens, and I was looking at an article online from this online magazine that wants to interview me. I think they want me to pay, but a lot of scams out there, whatever. Anyways, I think, the article is about, like, should I start a business? Should I start my small business? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say, for the vast majority of people, fucking no, man. Just don't do it. Don't even consider it. Don't think about it. Don't look into it. Don't do any of that shit, because it is fucking hard. And I think where a lot of the times dreamers and visionaries get confused, to the average person, because from the outside it looks the same, right? From the outside it looks the same. I took, we'll talk about visionaries first. That's me. So I read Rocket Fuel from, I don't remember who wrote it now, but it's about visionaries and dreamers, or visionaries and implementers, people who dream big, do big things, whatever, and then people who help them get that shit done. I have a 99 out of 100 on visionary. It's just who I am. And we'll talk about why that's a pain in the ass later. But a dreamer would probably score just as high or higher than I would. And then an implementer is somebody who actually does the work, who tells me, my wife tells me no constantly at work and at home. But like, the thing is, they have to rein us in, because we have all these crazy ideas, and they come in and this new shit pops up, this new shit pops up, and this new shit pops up, and this new shit pops up, and more shit pops up. And we're just bouncing around like fucking ping pong balls, man. You put a ping pong ball in an industrial dryer, that's how my brain is. Listen to the intro. We talked about it, right? But the difference between, visionaries and dreamers are the same. They have unlimited ideas. They have all this stuff. They have huge aspirations. They can see it in vivid detail. I can tell you exactly what my gym looks like. Not the one I have now, the next one. And it's changed. It's changed quite a few times, but I can tell you what it looks like. I can tell you how it feels to walk in. I can tell you what the music sounds like. I can tell you what the person at the front desk says when you walk in. I can tell you everything. You walk in this motherfucker, and there's just our logo. There is pictures on a backdrop of what it looks like, black and white pictures of all the fucking impact we made. We got a hallway to the right. I have a spiral staircase to the left. I want a spiral staircase so fucking bad. It makes no sense. I don't even care where it goes. If anywhere, I'm going to have a fucking spiral staircase. Even if it's just one little chair up there, like a tree stand, so I can sit up there and have my spiral staircase. But to the right, we've got a hallway. And in that hallway, we have we have different, like a timeline. of Rogue 2003, no, 2013. And, even before that, we'll have a couple of things like what got me to where I am. How did I become me? What made Johnny Buck? I have pictures of my parents and my wrestling coaches and different people have impacted in my life. And then we'll have 2013 pictures, what that gym looked like. It was a shithole, by the way. And then we'll move on and we'll have different pictures and little bios of everybody. That's where I see you walk down that Hall of Fame. And then it opens up into the gym. And I'm not going to go into all the visionary stuff, but I can tell you what the machines look like in the strength and conditioning. I can tell you what the mats look like. I can tell you what kind of bags we have. They're custom and branded, right? I can tell you all of that, right? And dreamers can too, right? So what's the difference between a dreamer and a visionary? Execution, right? That's what it comes down to. Dreamers are not entrepreneurs. They just can't fucking do it. Because what happens is a dreamer gets something in their head. And they get an idea in their head. And they're like, oh, I want this. And it could be they don't have a good implementer, possibly. But I don't think that's it. Because, when I started this business, I was the visionary and the implementer. I was the only motherfucker on the paychecks for the ones I did and didn't get. But where dreamers differ from visionaries is they don't have the same tenacity, the willingness to go through the hard shit that is necessary to be an entrepreneur. It just doesn't happen. I think it's one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things is like visionaries understand that it doesn't take a lot of fucking work. And it's the delayed gratification versus instant gratification. I think a lot of the times that, we're looking for quick fixes, and I've had the opportunity to be around dreamers. They've been employed at the gym. I've had friends who are dreamers. I have friends that are dreamers. And I think one of the things that I've never seen them stick at anything for more than 12 months, honestly. Both of the employees that were dreamers were there for 1 year. And one of them, they're at their next gig. They're there for 1 year. Then they quit that gig. And then the other one, same thing. He's bouncing around from one thing to the next. I hope what he's doing now sticks, but he's already changed it twice in 2 years. So, dreamers they don't have the stick with itness that's necessary to be an entrepreneur. And I'm not saying you can't develop it, but I think there's a big difference on what it looks like to get the things that you need to do. I think that dreamers just think what's going to happen is just going to show up. Like, you don't have to do the work. I'm a huge, and I'm getting more and more. I'm a huge fucking, what's it called? I'm a huge law of attraction guy. I 1,000 thoughts bullshit. I 1,000% believe it's true. Whether it's God, universe, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a real fucking thing. I've had too many experiences of it not to be true. So that's a big thing for me. So I think that the dreamers understand that if you just say it, or they believe that if you just say it, then you're going to have it. Where visionaries, they speak it and work it into existence. I think that's where most people make a difference is they don't work it into existence. I think that's the big difference with dreamers. And we talk about, dreamers jump from idea to idea. And that is something I'm kind of guilty of sometimes too, right? Visionaries will get distracted by shiny things, right? And I've done it. I've done fitness, kickboxing, I think twice. MMA's came in, fucking daycare, all kinds of crazy things that pop in my head. That's a great idea. Let's do that. Luckily, my wife pulls me back in at this point. But, the difference between a dreamer and a visionary the difference between a visionary and a dreamer when it comes to things is a dreamer sees a shiny thing and that's the direction they take. They veer off. All right. Where a visionary will like, oh man, let me try and do that. But they never stray so far from the course. What happens is dreamers abandon the original idea where visionaries just get distracted. A little ADHD, man, a little squirrel, and then back on it. Right. So, for me in the beginning, I don't think my mission or vision has really changed for the gym. Small things, but the overall arching theme hasn't changed, right? And I think that's really the big difference between visionaries and dreamers. I think that another big thing is dreamers are selfish and visionaries are selfless. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. Is and when I say selfish, I mean it in a way for dreamers being selfish. It goes, they have great ideas. They have this awesome fucking thing that they could absolutely improve the world with, but they don't have the discipline and the stick withedness to fucking do it. And I think that's a disservice and that's selfish. Like, you have to go through a level of discomfort to succeed that most people aren't willing to do. And that's what I don't think dreamers should be entrepreneurs. If you've not stuck with the same idea for more than 12 months, you're not going to make it. Like, I can't think of a single fucking thing that you can accomplish in 12 months that's going to make an impact. Maybe winning the lottery, right? Um, I think that that's one of the biggest misunderstandings is like, dude, this entrepreneurship sucks. It's fucking horrible. It's the best thing I've ever done, by the way. But I think that as soon as dreamers get comfortable where close to where they are, they get distracted. Right? And it's happened to me, man. I get bored all the time, trying to do new things. I've done it a bunch of times, and more recently, in the past 2 years, I'm like, no, this is what the fuck I'm going to do, and I am fully on another adventure right now. You guys have been following for a while. You know that plumbing thing. I sent in the final proposal yesterday, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know what day this comes out, but as of April 2nd, I sent the final proposal. So we'll see. It'll be yes or no from there, or small negotiations. But that's it. That's the plan. So if not, I'll move on to something else with that. But the gym's never going to stop doing what the gym's doing. I'm going to continue growing. My team is doing fucking awesome. I'm super proud of them. But like, I think the real difference between visionaries and dreamers at this point is a dreamer will see a shiny thing, veer off, stop doing what they were doing, which steals from the fucking people they're supposed to be delivering to. Where a visionary will walk through hell to get to the end. It's something that I've been through fucking hell. Anybody who's an entrepreneur, like a legit entrepreneur, not a fucking dreamer who pretends, like, it's fucking hell, man. Like, that, but it's worth every bit of it. And I think that's what makes dreamers selfish. Is they're not willing to go through that hell to get to the point where they need to be. When I sit in, about every month I go to, I'm missing this one, but going to a different one. But I go to a mastermind, and sometimes I look at the fucking pain on these dudes. And these guys are successful as fuck. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of nice things. They have happy families. They have great businesses. And they're just worn the fuck out, It's a different fucking energy. It's different, but it's one of those things that's worth it, It's just something I couldn't imagine not doing. And then, talking about, like, relationships, my wife's an integrator. She's like 98% integrator. I'm a 99% fucking visionary. She wrangles me in a lot, but I think one of the things that, and we're talking about some of our friends who have dreamer spouses or partners, is they're fun to be with, man, because it's always exciting. Something's constantly changing. It's not something like it's stable, but it is what it is, man. And I think that I don't know. Eventually, it would wear on me. I couldn't fucking do it. Jen says she's really glad I'm a visionary because she gets to wrangle me in all the time. And then, but at least there's a consistent crazy going in one direction. My crazy always going in one direction, where, like, it's a fucking just crazy all over the place. Just whatever it is. I think the good analogy for visionary versus dreamer. So I think is like you're going down a highway. So I-40 is the longest highway in the U.S. Being with a visionary is like that motherfucker hits every rest stop there is. We're staying in the same direction. We just took a small detour for a minute, then we got right back on. Versus a dreamer, they're like every time they see a different highway, so they're going from 40 to 95 to 81. They're hitting every highway they can. And as exciting as that may be to see all the things, you're not going anywhere. You have no clue where you're going. And I think that's the biggest difference. What really separates visionaries and dreamers is a dreamer can vividly vision it, whatever it is right there, short term, where a visionary can see what it looks like 10, 15, 20 years down the road, and they're willing to do it. I think that's the biggest difference is I don't know if it's a bigger vision or more clarity or whatever it is. This is just how I'm wired. But I think having that at the very end, knowing what you want, again, it can change. But knowing in the big picture of your purpose, your mission, your vision, what those impacts are, I think that's the biggest difference. And that's what allows me to be as successful as I am. So I don't like to just randomly, I sometimes like to ramble, but like, I think realistically, if you're a dreamer, you're a visionary, you're not sure what you are, what does 20 years look like for you? And are you willing to do that? Sit down, what steps you need to take for the next 3 years. I just started doing 3-year plannings differently, a little better, a lot more concise, using Vivid Vision and the EOS system, the traction system, which I think is part of I guess Gino Whitman, which is part of rocket fuel, so all the same. I started doing that with more clarity, and I think it's helping me a lot. It's giving me midpoints, but to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't come out if it takes 5 years, 10 years, 50 years. I'm going to keep fucking working until I get there. I think that's the biggest difference between visionaries and dreamers. So that's it. I hope you guys got something out of this. More just kind of insight on how I look at things. If you guys need anything, as always, hit me up. I love you. I want to see you win, and I will catch you later. Peace.